I haven't made a video in a long time, but that's okay because I'm making a video now. I don't think I've talked about it before, but if I don't make a video for a while, it's either because I don't feel like it or I don't have anything to make a video on. And in this case, it was the second reason. There wasn't much to make a video on, but now I have stuff, and it's pretty cool stuff. So I think this video will be a good compensation for the videos that I missed in the past almost week, I think. I somehow, some way found some year 5 products. Don't ask me how. If I tell you who my dealer is, they're going to probably assassinate me. But besides that, I do have new stuff to show and new stuff to make reviews on. I was thinking about making each product an individual video, but that seemed pretty time consuming. I don't feel like editing that much, so it's just going to be one big video that I'm going to edit together. It's going to be a big video. Hopefully, it won't take too long. Might take too long because this is a lot of stuff to go over. But just so you know what exactly we're going over, we have Bakugan Legends, Hydronoid Excrocilios, not Chaos, Aquos, and Ventus. We also have Chaos Aurelus, Pegatrix, Gilator. I always pronounce it Gilator, but I know people pronounce it Gilator, which just sounds wrong. And then we have Chaos X Darkus, Cindius X Corporos. Yeah, you heard that right. It's Chaos and Darkus. But then we also have some chases. We have a brand new Dragonoid Extraterus. This is for Legends. This is not the Armor Alliance one. This is a brand new diamond that they decided to reprint. Thank you, Spin Master. We totally didn't want like any other diamond for any other model. But this one's also Pyrus and Darkest, like the Year 2 one, so it's nothing too special or new, except it is. And you'll see why soon. And we also have something that's actually cool. Elemental Darkest, that sounds wrong to say. Elemental Nilius X Enoch. They kept the gimmick with Nilius and Enoch, where they're the same attribute, so when they fuse, it's just one attribute instead of dual attribute, which completely nullifies the good thing about fusions, which is their dual attribute, which means they go through some flips. But this he doesn't. He's the same attribute on both sides. And with that all the way, I'll just open all of them. Again, I'm gonna do all of them in one video because I don't feel like editing 5 videos just to cover a single core. But this will be pretty cool because we get a sneak peek into year 5 and how definitely unique it is, and definitely not robbing us of the bare necessities that we need to actually play the game. Boy, it's gonna be a long year, isn't it? Alright, I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start with the ones I'm least excited for to the one I'm most excited for. So to start it off, we're going to go with Pegatrix Galator. We'll start off with what comes in her pack. This is the gate card that comes in it. It's a gate card. I wish there was more to say about gate cards, but there just really isn't. And as for her actual stats on the character card, I again don't know if you can see that with the glare because the camera's not or the screen's not facing me because people complained about it before. So if it's a problem, blame them. Anyway, this is the stats. It's a Aurelus on the front side or back side, however you see it, and it comes with 2 Helix cores and it has a base stats of 303 yeah, 300 B and 3 damage. And if you land on a Helix, you actually fuse. This isn't a new mechanic. We've seen it before where certain Bakugan fuse when landing on a certain core. But I think if this year they're trying to take that to the next level where it's actually good. I feel like before there was only one good Bakugan that fused on a core, which was I'm pretty sure Pyrus and Darkus Hydrus Expatrix, which was only really good for damage wins. So, and then when you do land on that Helix, you get up to 700 B and 7 damage. And on Victor, you remove the enemy core. I never really understood that vector effect. I feel like they were trying to do something cool there, but it really doesn't work. The most you get to do is you get to take the enemy's core and then place it where you want instead of them placing it where they want, which is kind of cool, but I'd much rather just actually steal the opponent's core to help me win instead of stealing the core when I've already won. But hey, that's just me. And then if you're wondering what the cores are, these don't come with cores. They don't put cores in these singles for some reason. They had it in the Legends Collection box or whatever it was called that had cores, but the singles do not. Instead, we get gate cards. We get gate cards instead. No more cores. It's infuriating how they're bringing back fusions for year 5, but they're not bringing. But as far as I'm concerned, they're not bringing back fusion cores, although they might in other packs. In this one, they have not, which is sad because I really wanted more plus 800 on fusion magic shields because I only have one of those because they were hard to get. So now we just have to suffer with our new fusions and live with the cores that we got all the way back in year 2. Now moving on to the Hydronoidex Crocelios. This is the gate card that comes with it. Yoo-hoo. What sucks even more is that these gate cards were the same ones that came in the last year's packs. They're not new gate cards, so it's really annoying that we're not getting cores. We're getting gate cards instead only, and they're not even giving us new gate cards. And then for the character card, it's Aquos Unfused, and it comes with 2 shields, 2 regular old shields. It comes with 500 base B and 5 base damage, and on the shield you fuse. And then on the fuse side, it gets to up to 1000 base B and 10 base damage. And yeah, it's pretty damn beefy if I do say so myself. Especially for fusing for basically for free. You get 20 points of stats just straight up. And while it is kind of crappy that it has to land on an orange shield to fuse, it's not that bad because there is the plus 500 fusion core, if I remember correctly, for shields. I might be completely wrong. Let me look that up, actually. Okay, I don't think I'm crazy. I'm pretty sure there is a shield that gives plus 500 fusions. So with that in mind, Hydronoidic and Crocelios, they get up to 1500 on their own cores if they're fused, which they will be if they're on a shield. So 1510 off the roll is pretty damn decent, honestly. You go either way with it. You could try to get damage wins, or you could just try to brood it with B power. And if I remember correctly, Hadronodex Crocelios is pretty good for double coring because of how they bounce up when they open. So they can be pretty decent in general if you could get the double core good enough. But if you don't want to do the shields, then you could get the plus 800 magic shield fusions and get up to 1800, which is really, really good. But you do have to fuse first, so that's the only downside. I'm not exactly sure the ruling is you can fuse even if the core is attached without rolling, or if it's like Moonwinds where you have to roll onto the core to actually fuse. I'm not sure the exact ruling. But if you can just attach a core to fuse, then you could just, I guess, grab the magic shield and then add the orange shield to fuse. And if not, then you're kind of fucked and you gotta try to win with just the orange shield. Next up is a special one. This is Chaos and Darkus Syndius Ex Corporos. So this is the gate card they come with. Yeah, who cares? But yeah, it starts as Chaos. It comes with 2 magic shields, spicy. 700 base B and 1 base damage, and it fuses on a magic shield. And when you're fused, you get to 806 damage, right? Yeah, 6 damage. And you know the stat buff's not the greatest, plus 100 and plus 5 damage. It's not the greatest, but when you take in consideration that you can use the plus 800 on fusion magic shield, it gets up to 1600 off the roll, which is pretty damn viable, especially when he's coming in with 2 magic shields himself. I don't think there's any Bakugan that comes with 2 magic shields that could get up to that number. There might be that I'm just forgetting, but I'm pretty sure that is currently the best magic shield Bakugan ever. But yeah, the only downside is you do have to use a fusion core to get up to that number because without it you'll only get up to 1450. But that's still pretty decent with coming to with magic shields. And again, I don't think there is a Bakugan that gets that high of number just with coming with 2 magic shields. I think the best other double magic shield Bakugan would be Genesis Warrior Well. He has a base of 800 B, I'm pretty sure. Or you could get Trox, or you could get Neo Trox, but he only comes with 1 magic shield, and the other one's a Helix. Still a good Bakugan, but he only has 1 damage and 1 magic shield, versus this guy who has 2 magic shields, and he can get out to 6 damage without lowering his damage if he has to land on Helix, because he doesn't have to land on Helix. He has 2 magic shields. I think this is definitely the contender for one of the best, subjectively best fusion Bakugan, which is exciting. Another exciting thing is that he's the first known Chaos and Darkest fusion. So that means we could probably get other fusions like Aquos and Pyrus fusions, and Darkus and Ventus fusions, if we're also getting Darkus and Chaos fusions, which is exciting. Now to Diamond Dragonoid Extraterus. This is the gate card. This is the base stats. It comes with 2 Fire Fists, and it starts on Pyrus. Has a base stats of 700 B and 1 damage, and he fuses on the Fire Fist. And then when he lands on the Fire Fist, this is the fuse side. He comes with 1000 base B and 4 base damage, and he comes with a reroll on the fuse side, which is a little odd. In my opinion, I'm pretty sure this is a straight up downgrade to the original Pyrus Dragonoid Intruders, mostly because he doesn't have a magic shield, and B, I'm pretty sure his fuse damage was higher on the original one. I think it was either 5 or 6, and this one only has 4 base damage. I guess he comes with a reroll, and if you need the other Fire Fist, that's cool. But if not, even if you were sharing cores, you would need to first land on the Fire Fist to actually fuse, and I don't think you'll win the B power battle with that. If you get the +8 on fusion Fire Fist, then you get up to 12 damage, but I don't think it's exactly worth it. I'm pretty sure this is just a straight up stat downgrade. However, maybe his little fusion diamond Evo will help him. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's a 4 cost. It gets him up to 13 B. It's a 4 cost. It gets him up to 1300 B power and 7 damage. It's not good at all. You get 300 B power and 3 damage for 4 energy. That is terrible. But I don't think the Diamond Evo has been good in a long time. So you know what? That's just expected at this point. And then for the final one, the one I'm most excited for, this is the unfused side. Pretty boring stats of 500 base B and 5 damage with the core lineup of Orange Shield and Green Fist. And if he lands on either of those, he fuses, which is interesting. Then on the fuse side, he has 900 base B power and 7 base damage. And on Victor, he removes the core just like Pegatrix Escalator. At first glance, I thought this Bakugan was also kind of mid, like Dragonoid Extraterus. But after thinking about it a little harder, he's kind of versatile in a way. If you land on the +500 on Fusion Orange Shield, you get the 1400 base B power, which isn't the highest, but it's definitely not the lowest. You could make that work. And then on the Magic Shield that gives +800, you get up to 1700, which is definitely viable. And then if you land on the, I believe, +5 damage on Fusion Green Fist, you get up to 12 damage with him, which it can win damage wins, definitely. Or you could land on the +8 Fire Fist once you have him fused and get up to 15 damage, which is definitely viable for damage wins. So I think he's more of a versatile hitter than anything. He can do anything decently. He can even do a little bit of core manipulation with his Victor effect. So I think he's just kind of trying to be a jack of all trades with this character card, which I think he could make him work. I would definitely like to try to make him work as well. Now with the stats out of the way, let's look at the actual Bakugan themselves. Starting with Pegatrix Escalator. Now I know I said that I would do this in order from least excited to most excited, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited for Pegatrix Escalator because currently I don't own one of them. I did used to own the Ventus and Chaos one, but I didn't want it anymore, so I gave it away. It was kind of fugly. But I will say this Chaos and RLS one is very, very pretty. First of all, the gold is actually really nice on here. It looks like the gold paint on Diamond Bakugan, and it's a very pleasant change from the cheese RLS we got from year 4. I'm still haunted at nightly by that in my dreams, or nightmares, I should say. It looks really good on the wings and the shoulders, but that's really all that has gold. It still looks really good. I still like the gold paint on it. The Hales colors also mix very well with the gold, I feel. It's a nice light blue with a couple of turquoise on the sides and on the horn. It definitely looks good. I'm not saying that I'm not excited for it because it looks bad. Since Smith Master didn't give me any cores, I'm just gonna roll in the gate cards that they gave me instead. Blame them, not me. You have no idea how long that took. For some reason, this Bakugan doesn't close properly. It's a little bit open on the edge, and it's hard to actually roll. But I finally did it. I do like this mold. I do think this mold's pretty good. It only sucks that we have seen this mold before. I wish that they at least gave us a couple of new models. The only ones that they really gave us is the Novas, and yeah, that's it. There's no other new models for this year, I don't think. Now for Hydronoidex Cricelios, the Ventus is very dark this year, which I think is way better than the Ventus we had last year, which was very bright green. It looked like guacamole. This one kind of just reminds me of like a deep forest, and I think it's pretty pleasant. The only problem is this doesn't really have much blue on it. It just only has it on like the heads on the outside and a little bit on the back, a little bit on the front. It's not too much blue there. I do like most of the fusion models, but this one's also just probably one of my favorites. Mostly because I love Hydronoid and I love Carchelios, and putting them together was genius. I noticed that I was going to roll in the gate cards, but I want to test my theory on if Hydronoid X Carchelios is good for double coring. Oof. It does spring forward a little bit. I feel like you need a lot of practice to get that consistently. The way you're supposed to do it is it bounces forward because of the head motion going up when it opens and going onto the next core. At least I'm pretty sure that's how the double coring works with this one. I need to practice a little more, but I've seen people do it, so I'm gonna believe he can do that. This one's really exciting for me. Syndius X Corpros. Many people know that Syndius is my favorite reboot Bakugan, and I think it was really cool to put him fused with Scorpros. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate that they had to use it for a core, because I feel like if it was an Ultra, it would have been 1,000 times better. This one is just really chunky. The shield's a little pathetic. The sword's a little pathetic. I think they just really want to try to highlight the tail, which is fine, but when you leave the rest of the body like this, it's a little odd. But I can't hate it too much because it is Cyndia still. And I just think the white on black looks amazing. I really love that they did a Hey 6 Starkus. This is a really good one. I really like the paint. I really like the paint on this one. Although the only paint that's really here is the white paint. There is some of the purple that Darkus is using for this year. You could barely faintly see it on the shoulders, and a little bit on the head, but that's more of a darker purple. But other than that, it's just the Chaos white coming through. Now for the chases. Diamond Dragonoid X Treacherous. Yep, it's another one. I really like this mold, so getting another diamond of this doesn't bother me. Especially, well, not really. It does have new paint, but not too much different paint. The only paint difference I immediately see is the horn and the little knuckles, and his nails are painted purple. I wonder how much it costs him to get those nails painted. Getting your nails painted is actually kind of expensive. And then the other difference is that this tail back part is actually opaque white this time. A lot of diamonds have this little opaque white part to them. People don't really like it. It's a little confusing, and I will agree that it is a little bit confusing on why they have that. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it kind of looks good on some of them. This one, not exactly that much, but it's still not the worst. Now that I have both of them out, I could see the differences between the two exactly. So one difference, the back part of the arms right here. The original one has red. This one has black. The wing tip right here, the edge has red here on the original one. And this one, it doesn't really have paint on the exact spot, but it does have gold around it. Then, of course, the back tail is red, and this one is white. Oh, this one also has like a little flare, gold flare on it. I don't know if you can see it. Between the two, I don't really know which one I would choose more. Honestly, they kind of feel pretty similar in terms of quality to me. Like the paint jobs are about the same, about as cool. This one looks tough and mean, like he's gonna beat you up and grab your girlfriend's ass. And then this one just looks really elegant, like he's getting ready for a wedding. So, you know, whichever one you like is the one you like. I think they're both about equal for me. And now for Nillynock. Everyone's favorite fusion, definitely. Everyone loves Nillynock. Everyone has to love Nillynock. Nillynock, definitely one of the coolest fusions from year 2. I still think he is one of the coolest fusions. And now he's an elemental, which is fantastic. I never really owned the original Nillynock, which made me really sad. So this is my first chance to really get the correct model and the correct size for him. And I would say he's really cute. He's really purple, and purple is my favorite color. So this makes me very happy. We haven't really had an all purple Bakugan before, and now we do, and now it's just perfect. It's just really is. perfect. I'll let you on a secret. Undoubtedly, the darkest elementals are the best elementals. There's just no doubt in my mind. The only competition that comes close is Arliss. They have some pretty banger elementals as well. The rest are kind of mid, but Darkest definitely has the best one. And it's because of the digitalized paint that they use, little like print on paint they put on the elementals. Unfortunately, this guy only has that paint on his wings, where things like I think Griswing has it pretty much everywhere, and the other Darkest Elementals have it almost nearly all over their body, which is what makes them so cool. But he only has them on his wings. Although I think he makes up for it for being just all purple and translucent purple at the same time, which is just amazing. Like in the light, the camera's being held up by a little light ring, and in the light, it just looks so good, and it's really just amazing. I'm in awe with how good this one looks. The model itself, it's obviously like a 10 out of 10 model. It's the perfect fusion. It's just I don't know. I don't know. It's Nilly Knock. It's Nilly Knock. How can you not like Nilly Knock? Nilly Knock is absolutely the best fusion for many reasons. Because one, it's the fusion of Nilius and Enoch, where both pass. Two, it's purple. Three, it's darkest. Four, it has the cool darkest elemental wings. And five, insert a fifth reason here. Oh, I found some more of the digitalized paint. It's on the tail tip. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Yeah, that's why I saved him for last, just to make that joke. But yeah, that's really all there was to review about these ones. They are very cool fusions. Some of them are pretty viable for the TCG. I think the best ones out of these three are definitely like Nilinoc, Hydronoid X Krikelios, and Cineus X Corporos. Those are definitely the best ones out of these three. Although there's a pretty substantial gap between Nilinoc and Hydronoid X Krikelios. And these two are right, I guess. This one's not actually. This one's actually pretty bad. These stats are not good. These aren't good stats, especially for being Arliss on the base side. There's just no real reason to use that one. But enough of roasting Arliss. I'll just close out this video. If you like this video, then consider liking, and if you want to see more, then consider subscribing. I promise I will eventually become consistent. I don't know when that is, because I'm kind of just trying to do this for fun and not really forcing myself to do all of this YouTube stuff without doing anything else. I haven't quit my life and everything I knew and everything I love just to do YouTube as my passion career. I still have a life besides YouTube. So if I ever don't make content exactly quickly, then it's just because I have either life problems or, again, there wasn't anything to review. And now there was. So now there's a video. And then to end this video, here's a picture of a baby turtle.